We're back at the bridges and we're just going to assess the work that's been done, because they seem to be, all the work seems to be done in taking them down, clearing them out of the water. So we're just going to see. I've actually been here before, but I just wanted to bring the camera this time to actually see what's happening. This is the side, this is this side. Now, when I came the other day, actually just first mentioned that side, it's all clear obviously. They've done well, they put the stones like kind of on a slope, so I think it was more of a drop at that side, but they've seemed to put it more of a slope, a bit steeper I suppose, but it looks okay. Obviously the grass is going to grow, or what's going to happen, probably just the stones will stay there. It'll take its shape over time anyway. And then you've got, that's where obviously where the bridge was there, you can see the foundations, and they've just left that there as a wee drop, but it's not nothing major. They've done a good job at that side, tidied it up quite well. Obviously there's a lot of space, more space at that side, going down there, sorry. Yeah, it looks okay, they tidied it up nice, if you can just see here, I think that's okay. Yeah, I think they've done well. But this side, however, this side here is the main problem, I think. Now this path is quite narrow as it is, right? So if you're coming along here, if we go back here, if you're coming along here, see it's quite narrow. Now they've took away, as you can see a little bit of foundations there, but they've took away most of the, well, they took away the ramp. There was railings basically to stop people from going down that way, because obviously at this side there is that sort of kind of slope. But I think they've done something really stupid here, because as I said, the path is really narrow, and what they've done is that they've dug that up, obviously left a bit of foundations, but dug the path up, took the railings away, took the temporary fences away. They've got this pole there which is not going to help anybody, but this I think is really dangerous, especially for maybe more elderly people, or people who just lose their footing on this path. It's going to be quite dangerous just because of the slope, because look, especially if it's been raining heavy, or if it's in the winter when it's ice and snow, or they just basically lose their footing if they're running, and they lose their footing here, maybe go a bit too far. Even if a dog goes maybe a bit too far, it's quite a drop. And then it's like, imagine if that was icy or something, you would just like slide down, and it's literally like sliding into the river like a slide if that was really bad. Now I came about a week or so ago and the grass seed wasn't there, so the grass seed might help a little bit, but at the same time there's just no protection on this side. It's really badly done. The other side is much better, but this side is just really badly done in my opinion. Right, so here we are at the Jubilee. It's a suspension bridge, or what was left of it, right? The far side, I think they've done a good job. The bridge took a lot of the banking with it, right? So building another bridge there will be really difficult, because they took quite a lot, well, the bridge took a lot of the banking. Obviously the people that cleared it have done a good job at that side. That tree's fallen up there as well. You can see, I think that's just where the steps were. They've took them away. That bit of there is quite wide anyway. So I think overall they've done that side of the river. I think they've done a really good job of clearing the bridges of what was there. And now we come on to this side. Now it's similar to the Cuthbertson bridge, but it's not as bad, but it's a similar thing. There's no basically fence. I think the steps should have been left like as a monument or something. You can see the foundations are still there, but they've took away the bridge, basically the side of the bridge, and they've planted grass seed on the soil. But what's happened basically is that it's kind of similar. It's not as bad. The path is a lot wider than that, and it's, I suppose you've got other bits that someone could fall down anyways, but it's still the same principle. They should maybe a bit of a fence up to stop people from falling. As I said, it's quite flat, so it's not so bad, this one. But overall I think they've done a good job on this one, clearing the river, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens going forward for the replacement of the bridges. Of course, this is the ideal place to put a bridge up if you're going to put just one to replace the two, because this is the halfway point between Brydekirk and Annan. Obviously Brydekirk is the next place north you can cross, and Annan Bridge is the next place south you can cross. They're both road bridges too, but yeah, this is the ideal place to really put one, but obviously the foundations are not strong, especially that side with the bank and taking out. So about roundabout here, I don't know where it's going to be, but it's just another thought of where they're going to replace the bridges, and I know it's going to be quite a while before they do, which is not really not positive news. And I know this is not bridge related, but it's quite good that some people have managed to put a bin. I don't really want to look at that, but they put like a temporary bin there for people, because it's quite embarrassing that it's just not good enough that there's not enough bins on either side of the river. Just try to think where the bridges would be, not the bridges, I'm bridge daft now, bridge on the brain, where the bins would be, the nearest ones. I think that way, as you said, just outside the bottom of the car park, just north of Galloway Bank, and then the next bin on this side, I'm trying to think now, it's quite a while away. I even think it could go as far as Brydekirk maybe, I'm not too sure, I can't think, I've kind of, my head's a little bit scrambled at the moment. Muddy come! And the other side, of course, you've got, it's quite far as well, I think Rabbit Island or something. No, so you haven't Rabbit Island, just waffling on now, but yeah, it's quite far anyways. There's not bins on either side for quite a distance. I know this is also not bridge related, but I just wanted to put this in because we're up the river. And this bit, I mean, if you're a wheelchair, this is a no-go, because look at that. How's someone supposed to get there in a wheelchair? Like, I suppose there is other points in the river where wheelchairs cannot get access because there's a wee bridge along that way that wheelchairs just can't get access to. So I suppose there is other points, but just like just like people that are walking, it's really quite overgrown, and it was never like this usually. As you can see, yeah, very overgrown, difficult to sort of you got to kind of watch, because you could trip over some of the branches that are done, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, I know we've got to come on this way, and there's a similar, actually the one at the other side is not as bad, because, well, last time, it's been a while since I've went over there because of the bridges, but it's quite well kept compared to this side. It's actually been there's been work done on it to make it a bit better, I think. And then as we come round back to sort of along the river and all, this part is even worse, I think, in my opinion, because when you go along this part of the river, it used to actually be like, it wasn't actually so bad, but now parts of it you can't even tell you're beside the river, because obviously you used to be able to see the river. It's so overgrown, and the path is bad, the sides are bad. It's just such a difficult walk. And it's even more annoying because the other side of the river is obviously this is more accessible to people of Annan, because the other side, obviously with the bridges, you can go over the other side, which is a better walk in my opinion. But this side is the easier walk, because the other side you have to go all the way around Annan Bridge and up. So a lot of people will come this way more often. It's just not good enough. It's overgrown. Yeah, just even the seating as well, like, it's just, and the ground is like really bad at this side. It's so narrow, and so you've got a wee little bit further over there, but see that side, it doesn't look cut either. I suppose you can't really see past the grassy bits, but I'm not sure. I've not really been in that side for a while, just because of, it's a lot easier to come this side. Look at this here, like, you've got basically these in the way, you just watch you do your ankle, and just, oh, look at that, that's terrible. It's shockingly bad. Yes, can't see the river, man. It's like it's like really, I don't understand. It wasn't this bad before. It's absolutely incredible. Like, that gate, it's like, how are you supposed to get in there? It's like, honestly, it's not so bad when you get about here. It's a bit better, a bit more open. I just want to come like to these bits that you want to do your ankle if you're not careful. It's actually a little bit better here. Obviously, yeah, back to probably this is what it should be. Obviously, maybe the grass is a tiny bit longer. This is what it really should be the whole way. I can see the other side, the grass is cut that side. fairly decent, I think. So that's kind of back to normal. As I said, I can't really make a comment about that side at the moment because we've not been for a while. Yeah, so we're at the bit now where it's a bit more, shall we say, a bit better. Obviously this bit up to about, I think there's a gate coming up that's still a bit overgrown. It's not too bad, but this bit's really was the overgrown part anyway. But it's quite a nice beautiful day in the river. We've got that island over there, and yeah, hopefully we can make it to the side in another day and see the viewpoint from that side. But yeah, it's been good to catch up on how the bridges have been doing and how the bin situation and the overgrown paths. But it's a lovely walk. It's not the best day today in regards to the weather. Well, it's actually decent. Not sunny of course, but nice and cool for Murray and that. And yeah, so if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, and then please subscribe. Do more local videos like this as well, and just comment if you want, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, so just after we filmed that, we came to this little bridge, and I noticed one of the panels were loose. It wasn't like that, but I stupidly stood on it and I just fell. So what I'm going to do is, this needs fixed, so this is going in the water because I don't want anybody doing the same thing. I know it wasn't, look at that, the nails are bad as well. Goes in the water. Yeah, I don't want anybody doing the same thing, because I think you can, when you come here, it's actually, these other two are decent, so that if anybody walks they can see that wooden panel's missing. But what I did is that I thought it was half decent, so I still stood in it. That's when I fell, so that was the problem lately. So I don't want anybody else coming here and doing the same thing as me and hurting themselves. And I'm thankfully okay, but yeah, a bit muddy as you can see. But at least with the panel missing, then you'll be able to see it for yourselves, and also them wooden bits are rotten anyway, so it's better if the sea gets them. And hopefully they'll get fixed. But yeah, don't want anybody else falling. I know it's a bit of extended bit to the end of the video and the birds are chirping, but thankfully I'm fine.